Should be. Let's see. Okay, we are live. We are back. This is the reboot of episode 205 of Who Moved My Freedom. We had to restart everything here because it looks like we were having problems. So you guys who are watching, let us know how the stream is coming back.
Let us know. Where's opt-out?
So for anyone who doesn't know, what happened is that, like, it seemed from everyone was telling us in the chat and all that we weren't streaming through, we weren't coming through very clear. It was freezing and all kinds of stuff happened. We try to deal with it as much as we possibly could. I don't really think it's on our end. So we just totally like stopped that and started a new one because maybe it was just the slot that we were in, you know, that was creating the problem.
Oh yeah,
don't tell me I'm making up stuff, woman. I can explain. Yeah, go ahead, Richard. Explain it.
It's a cloud-based system, and it's probably virtual machines, and the routing of the path is probably going through a defective switch at some point, or there's high congestion, and it's just diminishing the throughput.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Whatever the hell that meant.
I mean, Pebbles could have said squawk, and I'd be like, okay, there you go. Pebbles seconds that.
Hey, Hank, remember Sanford Son? They say they look at Smitty and Brother Smitty like, what did he just say? You know?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I love Sanford and Son.
Lola says, I am wearing an appropriate shirt. If you guys don't see it, you suck. YouTube. You suck. That's what I'm wearing. Okay. Let's see what Richard is wearing. His says, let me see if we can lock it on here. It says ISIS live splatter. Okay, there you go. That's funny.
Got that at the West Palm Beach Gun Show.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. So hopefully everyone's getting us good now. And I'm just going to remind everyone, like, let's hit the thumbs up again. Okay, Rod Mills wants to show the shirt. Hold on a second, Rod Mills. I'm locked on you. What does it say? Remember, you got to stand up. What is it? Rubber dummies?
It says Hank looks good.
Oh, yeah. Rubber dummies. Something to do with rubber dummies. Yeah. Super baby bumper. Something.
Super baby bumper.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so hopefully this is doing better. You guys let us know how that's looking. Hopefully it's a lot better right now. And, you know, like whatever stream, I'm going to translate what Richard said. Basically, whatever stream we were locked into was no good.
It was a piece of crap. Yeah,
we had to come out all together and jump back in a different stream, and the lottery of the internet, maybe it's better now. I don't know. So there we go. Hopefully this is coming in better. Hopefully there's no complaints. We're not freezing up. You guys are able. Richard, if you can, keep an eye on that. Like I said, everyone out there, you're going to have to thumbs up us again because, you know.
Yep, we got 80 watching, 35 thumbs up.
Okay, very cool, very cool. And we all need to go in here ourselves and hit the thumbs ups, which I'm going to do.
Come on, hit it again.
Oh, I did it right.
I'm going to put my own thumbs up my own YouTube.
Wait.
Yeah. YouTube?
yeah, it's YouTube.
This is a family show.
It's a tube connected to you.
And you're over there putting your thumbs up it.
Yes, exactly.
What Rod and I said when Hank was gone?
No. What did you say when I wasn't here?
Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
Yeah, okay. I got your secret right here. So this is episode 205. This is a reboot. I'm probably going to have to go back and delete. I think I already deleted the old one.
Hey, you know what? Let's make this 205 and a half.
It's
205.5.
Yeah. Well, I'm calling it the reboot. 0.5 and a half to the second power, whatever you guys want to call it. So the title of this one is Why Are Doctors Attacking the Second Amendment? That's the big thing that we're going to talk about here. I did have an article here that now I got to go find it. Let me find it once again and share it with you guys in the chat so you can all take a look at it. And basically, this isn't news today. I think it came out yesterday or the day before that, but it was so crazy around here. I didn't see it. No one, someone might have brought it to my attention, but it's a little crazy. But the American Medical Association is calling for basically draconian gun control in America. their asses are total. They're really crazy. We were discussing the other things they should do because you know there's lots of other things that kill people before we get to guns in America. There's other things like malpractice, etc. We're going to talk about that. What's up, Lola? Did I read the? No, I didn't read the article yet. Yeah,
I can kind of see why.
Yeah, we're talking to people about that. We are going to jump in. You guys want to go through the article?
Well,
I'm waiting for folks to jump back in here.
I'm gonna kind of chime in on that. And you know, I'm just giving it a second. You know, another way of thinking about this. If you worked in a trauma unit, here we have a hospital here that all gunshot wounds, knife wounds. This is like a level 3 trauma unit, and I guess I guess the majority of them, they see a lot of gunshot wounds, deaths. Now that they definitely see more than we would see, and I could probably say, I can see their train of thought. I'll put it like that. Not that I agree with them, but I think that they see the other end of, someone getting shot by a gun than what we would see. The only time we would see anything like that is if it's a video or if we actually encountered it ourselves. And how many times you got to think, would you actually see that? Whereas these trauma physicians, nurses, et cetera, so on, they see that on a more regular basis. They see the death that we don't see. But not saying that, it's right for them to say that they don't like it, but I understand their viewpoint. And, that's one thing that, we have to look at as well, that, they see a lot more of that than we would.
Okay. Go ahead, Richard.
So I got like 7 thoughts on this, and Lola knows probably more about this than the rest of us. But one thing with hospitals, they care about the bottom line as far as dollars go. So chances are, if your Mercedes has an accident, or you have an Audi R10, you have an accident, you're paying the bill. You're coming in as some street thug shot up because you had a street fight with a couple of guys. And chances are you don't have medical insurance, and the hospital is going to be footing the bill for it. But also, if you looked at the article, it says Chicago. It's not like they're in Palmetto, Texas, or something like that. They're talking about this in Chicago.
Okay, so first of all, I don't see where they're coming from at all, Rod. Which I understand the point that you're making. Mm-hmm. I don't see where they're coming from at all. And if from what you're saying and what Richard's saying, that this has to do with gangsters and people that are getting into, people that are committing, that are getting into illegal stuff in the first place, yeah, they're not going to have insurance. And then when they're shooting and stabbing each other up and all that, and they go to the hospital, we're going to wind up paying for that. But you know what? Then try to do something to make the gangsters have insurance, or if they don't, just leave their asses out on the sidewalk. I mean, I don't think that this is something that the AMA needs to get into. There's lots of things that kill more people in America than whatever they want to call gun violence is. And one of those things, by the way, is malpractice by doctors. Maybe we should do something about that.
Yeah, I believe they conveniently forget that part of it as well.
Yeah. So, but let's go through. Let's go through this article real quick here so we can have a discussion about this with people. So this, let me see, I think this is on Vox, but there's a bunch of places where these articles are. I'm just picking one. The country's largest doctor group just took its most aggressive stance on gun control yet. The AMA overwhelmingly voted to get behind a slew of gun control measures this week. I don't know what the AMA has to do with the Second Amendment or laws in America. The American Medical Association, the U.S. largest physician group, officially endorsed a variety of gun control measures on Tuesday, according to Lindsay Tanner at the Associated Press. So here's what they want. They want a minimum age requirement of 21 to own or buy guns and ammo. Bullshit. Definitely unconstitutional. And that means that these doctors are saying that you can't defend or protect yourself until you get to 21. So the criminals that we were just talking about, when they rob you and shoot you, you don't have any way to stand up for yourself. You don't have any way to fight back unless you're 21 years old, according to what they're saying. That's bullshit. Licensing and safety course requirements for gun owners, bullshit too. You know, the Second Amendment doesn't say anything about that. We already have things in place. I don't think we need to add more to whatever we have in place. Registration requirements for all firearms. What the hell is that going to do? You know,
it's not going to stop, you know, the street thugs or whoever wants to commit a crime. That's they don't register the guns anyway. They got burner guns.
But what is it going to do? What is it going to do? Closing loopholes that allow people except what it's going to do is this. Those of us who have guns and we have them legally and we follow the laws, we will then start to take the burden for everyone else that we're talking about that refuses to get insurance or anything else. That's bullshit. You know, we're already carrying too much weight in America already. We're already paying too much taxes, you know, and all that kind of stuff. We don't need any more of that. And we don't need to give them anything to use against us to make us pay even more. So here's another thing. Like I said, closing loopholes that allow people with a legal history of domestic abuse to buy their own guns. Also more bullshit. We already have a whole bunch of laws in that. You know, what is that going to do? Measures that allow courts upon a relative's request to remove guns from homes in which a person is imminently violent or suicidal. More bullshit. Yeah, and it's bullshit, you know.
We already got that law.
Yeah, better training of doctors on screening suicide risk. And there's a whole bunch of other things that they have in here.
Did you drop this in the chat? Because I got to call BS on one thing immediately.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so here's the thing. There's a chart, and it shows homicides by firearm per 1 million people. Well, so show me another country that has a population of 300 million people and where there are 300 million known firearms to exist. When you show me that country, then we can do a one-to-one comparison. So what you need to do, typically the best way to talk about this is homicides per capita. In homicides per capita, we are not number one. That's not how it works.
Yeah, so, I don't think we can believe whatever things that they're throwing up, that particular article is throwing up there.
Yeah, so this chart is complete bogus bullcrap. It is homicides by firearm, but again, homicides by firearm is meaningless because there's near zero homicides by firearm in London, but London is having a higher homicide rate than New York City. Of course, New York City guns are illegal also.
Yeah, but there's okay, here, I'm going to throw up another article because this is the problem with the articles and the media and all that. If we look really close at who these specific articles are, and this one is from the AMA themselves, right? So, you know, let's go in on that, and I'll throw it here in the chat so people can take.
So who does the AMA consist of?
There's a lot of bullshit in here. Encourage the development of curricula and training for physicians with a focus on suicide risk assessment. You know, and there was other things they're talking about here in suicide. Well, if someone wants to kill themselves, guns are not the only option.
Right.
There's tons of options.
Actually, that's probably one of the least options. Good.
And there's so many things you have to remove.
I could do a complete show on how bogus this is. So the next chart they have, homicide in 50 industrialized countries, rate per 100,000, year 2012. Why did they cherry pick the year 2012?
Why?
I don't know, but you'd have to look at the stats before and after. But if they're not picking, 2015, 2016, 2017, there's a reason they picked 2012.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things in here. They oppose concealed carry reciprocity. So they're saying that if you're a person that has a concealed carry license, reciprocity will allow you to go from state to state. They oppose that. Why? What is, they want less violence on criminals. People that have concealed carry permits are not using it to just shoot everyone willy-nilly. They're just protecting themselves. They're just out there in the public defending themselves because they may be in a situation where there's no one else to defend them, like the one you're most likely to be in, no matter how many police officers you have someplace. When people are deciding to mug you and kick your ass and beat you down or kill you or kick in your door, the police are not around to save you. They do not want you to be able to defend yourself in those situations if you're outside of your home state.
So again, I go to the stats on this. Heck, you just want to cross the border to like Alabama and Georgia and just pop a few caps, right? I mean, because what the heck? It's a different state. You might as well. You're a CCW. They have reciprocity. Yeah, you know, these people, I don't like them. They're not Floridians. Let's pop them. But here's the thing. What they're not showing you, again, is the stats. How many CCWs where there's reciprocity is there an incident of homicide? I've never even heard of that statistic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bunch of things in here. They want to advocate for schools to remain gun-free zones.
Well, see, I'm okay with that. Can we use guns to make that happen?
What do you mean?
Yeah, make it a gun-free zone, but make sure there's armed guards around it to do so.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Well, Hank.
They oppose requirements or incentives of teachers to carry weapons. So they want the schools to stay gun-free zones, and they don't want the teachers to carry weapons, which goes to what you're saying, Richard. They want the school to be defenseless. So look, in the case of what happened here in Florida, the sheriff did not allow the EMTs to go in and save people that were dying. So what the hell is the AMA talking about? That's what they're supposed to do. If you're a physician, your job is to treat people. You don't want to be in that business, get the hell out. But the business is to treat people, and the only problem, like guns are not the majority of the reasons why they have problems. There's lots of reasons why they have problems. One of it is them. They over prescribe things to people. They over treat people. They mistreat people. So you're starting right there with what's going on with them.
Well, it's 1 year to the day that Steve Scalise was shot up. He was shot up by a CCW Republican, right?
No.
No? What do you mean?
Yeah. He was shot by someone who didn't give a crap what the law was.
He was shot by a guy that was a campaign worker for Bernie Sanders. And I believe it was an SKS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I don't know. There's lots of things in here. And if we go look at, here's what I want to pull up. So let me see. I pulled up something here. This is like top 10 leading causes of death in the United States. Okay. Nearly 75% of all deaths in the United States are attributed to just 10 causes, with the top 3 of these accounting for over 50% of all deaths. And here, I'll send this to you guys. So that you can see what I'm referencing here, and then I'll put it in the chat as well. So just take a look at that, and here, let me put this in the chat so folks who are here with us can check it out.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go. Let's run down this for a second. And by the way, guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs ups. We had to restart all of this. We ran into some kind of issues there or whatever. Please hit the thumbs ups if you're coming in now or you came in before. We appreciate you doing that. So let's pull up here. We're talking about doctors. The AMA, America's doctors, are demanding gun control. They are demanding that we ignore the Second Amendment. So the article that I shared is for folks who are watching this later. It's entitled "The Top 10 Leading Causes of Death in the United States." It says nearly 75% of all deaths in the United States are attributed to just 10 causes, with the top 3 of these accounting for over 50% of all deaths. So maybe we should make some laws around these. This data came from 2014 for whatever reason. And let's take a look at it. Number 1, heart disease. 614,348 deaths, heart disease.
Get off the couch.
Yeah. What are we going to do to regulate that?
Well, Bloomberg's got a plan for that also. He's going to prevent people in New York City from using elevators. You got to walk up and down the stairs. You can only have, 32-ounce sodas. You can buy 2 32-ounce sodas, but not 1 64-ounce soda. And he banned, what was it, fats? Trans
fats. So they're for all kinds of trans, but not trans fat. This is an LGBT issue. Everything else can be trans, but not fat. Go ahead.
They can take one of my shooting courses like Babyface P did, and they can lose some weight that way.
Yeah. But once again, for sure, there's a lot of people that are overweight and all that kind of stuff. People need to be healthier. You cannot litigate that. You cannot litigate that. Okay.
You can't.
All you're going to do is make trans fats now like the next meth.
So can we pause on this topic for just a minute? Because
Sure.
if you're into risky behavior and the rest of us have to pay for it, part of me says, you know what? You're putting a burden on society. So should we ban Golden Corral? Should we ban fill in the blank? Because, you know, have you ever been to a Golden Corral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hate to say, I do this all the time. Wherever I am, I look around and I say, hey, what's my peer group? Wow, my peer group is morbidly obese people at the moment.
Mhm.
And I kind of wonder, I'm like, if I keep eating here, am I going to end up like that?
Mhm.
Now, moving on to other things, say I free climb, I climb up rock faces with my bare hands. I don't. But say I do behavior like that, should my insurance go up? Should I be, I mean, because if they have to bring, you know, with a helicopter out there to get me, or I know guys in the airplane community, like they're flying from Hawaii and they lose their engine and boom, they got rescue helicopters, Coast Guard out there. If you're engaging in risky behavior, should you pay an extra tax for it because you're a burden on society?
I don't know that you should pay an extra tax. What you should do, first of all, it's not society's, it's not something that they're obligated to do to give you healthcare. They're not obligated to do that. So I don't think it should be, when you're talking about taxes, that's for me what taxes should be for. Taxes should not exist or be really low, right? We're talking healthcare, and healthcare, like any other insurance, should be based on your risk. It's just like life insurance. If you are a sick person, your life insurance goes up higher, period, right?
Right.
If you're older, it goes up higher. Yeah, exactly. Same thing with auto insurance. You keep crashing your car, your auto insurance goes up. You don't have a right to that, you know. And if you're not responsible when it comes to those things, they're going to raise the price of it. If your car keeps getting stolen, if this thing or that thing, like insurance should be based on risk. That's what it's about. Companies get into the business where they absorb the risk. They say, okay, we're going to take on all these people for this particular insurance. If people's house burns down, you know, we're going to take the risk of, well, you know, if we have 1,000 clients, only 5 of them, their houses are going to burn down. So we'll make money. Okay, this is why it's not a game that the government should be in, because the government can't do that. If the government gets into that game, they're going to have to carry the insurance. People are going to take that insurance and they're going to still get fat. Then the government now is going to have to hire someone to follow everyone around or put a freaking lock over your mouth so you can't eat shit.
So
Right.
I kind of balance that against my libertarian views of, you know what, it's not my freaking business. But then part of the libertarian view is, if it doesn't break my nose or pick my pocket, what do I care?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if someone made this comment here, but Lola wrote this on the board. Okay, this is Lola's comment. She says, there is poor food choices, then there is obesity, which is a disease, and we have to separate the two. So, I mean, but these are still things that people have to deal with individually, I think.
Now, here's the other thing, there's genetic predisposition. So I'm doing the Atkins diet, which is, you know, low carb. So you can eat all the bacon, all the fat, everything you want, cheese, as long as it came from a living animal, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my wife was going nuts. My wife's in the medical field. And she's like, oh, your cholesterol and all that bit. I get it tested. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people that don't eat a diet that's crazy high cholesterol. And I've read about Atkins that your cholesterol actually goes down, even though you're having massive amounts for it, because you're in ketosis and your body's burning it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it could have been, I have a genetic predisposition to it. I know people that are super thin, their cholesterol numbers are through the roof. It's just genetics.
I have that too. I take pravastatin, and no matter how good I eat, my cholesterol levels are going to be high. So I take pravastatin, and Lola, I'm sure Lola definitely knows what pravastatin is. That actually keeps my cholesterol in check. But now keep in mind, I do take different supplements, like I will take Metamucil, And one of the byproducts is Metamucil. Yep, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Someone wants CB wants to know what's the sneeze noise. That's pebbles, I think. Right? Is that pebbles?
Yeah,
there you go. That's pebbles. Richard is a true pirate. Go ahead, show pebbles again because I wasn't locked on you. Okay. Yeah, he wants attention.
Yeah.
So that's why he's over there. Can you give Pebbles some seeds?
He's got all the seeds. He wants me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let him be on your shoulder, so because we could hear the squawking and the thing.
Squawking.
So go ahead. Go ahead and finish that.
Right. Also, I take black seed oil, and that's and I also would take sometimes I'll take fish oil. Sometimes I'll do krill oil. And all of those basically are designed to, keep your, bad cholesterol low and your good cholesterol high. And so, but keep in mind with the high cholesterol, that can lead to heart disease, which is, I think, the #1 killer on that list.
Right.
So, for me, I get my blood drawn. I mean, I'll be 50 years old in a couple of years. So I get my blood drawn. I, do all the things that I have to do to make sure that I'm healthy, because what you don't want to do is have that type of thing come up on you, and voila, now you're dead, or, it could have been prevented. Hell, if you pay an insurance every paycheck, you should take your behind to the doctor and at least get checked. I mean, that's crazy. That's like having a gun and buying all the ammo in the world, but never shooting.
Yeah, never training.
Yeah, never training.
Instructions. Yeah,
exactly. So
never cleaning it.
Exactly, never cleaning it. Yeah, expecting it to run right.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So let's. Mr. Holster says the government can't get out of their own way. It takes 10 government employees to turn a lock. All a waste of money. I agree with that. Let's take a look at the other things here that on this list of 10 things. Oh, number 2, cancer. Oh cancer. Boy, cancer. You know what? Damn, you got to make cancer illegal, man.
Oh, and guess what?
We got to get some cancer control going on here.
Now, I'm guessing number 3 is guns, right?
No.
What do you mean?
No, it's not.
Getting back to cancer, I'm gonna tell you guys this, and you can say it's hogwash or whatever. They got a cure for cancer. Trust me. Okay, there is a cure for cancer. If there was a cure for cancer, think about all the trillions of dollars that will be lost. Okay, so just like I believe that there is a cure for AIDS, I mean, how can Magic Johnson all of a sudden have no AIDS antibodies in his system anymore? Because you got money.
Yes, it is because of money. But one of the things that there's actually some human beings that have a genetic. How can I put it? They have genetics that's actually resistant to AIDS, right?
Right.
There's actually human beings like that have those genetics. And when you're tested, like we had genetic tests, I believe my mom, she has these genetics where she's naturally resistant to AIDS. And so there's places where you can get treatment, where you get transfusion of blood from those people that have that. There's lots of different things like that going on. Of course, if you have money, it can help with most things. But I'll tell you, there's one ultimate cure for everything in the world, Rod. It's called death. We're all born. We're all born. We're all gonna die at some point.
Right.
So the thing about that is that I think that's the ultimate cure. People are born, people die. Am I saying that people will never maybe figure out a way to be immortal or whatever? I don't know. But right now we live in a world where people are born, people die for lots of reasons. We can't make death illegal. There's lots of things that kill people.
Well, so I understand this. Now, AIDS just didn't come out of nowhere. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe AIDS is man-made, and I believe it was a chemical weapon, and it got into the wrong hands. And at this point now is, to where it is. But so you mean to tell me all the millions and trillions of years that the earth existed, that AIDS all of a sudden just came about in the 80s?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that we have lots of diseases that,
What new disease do we have other than AIDS?
Yeah. So listen, this is a completely.
You know what? I was going to call BS on you, but you're right about that.
Yeah. Listen, this is a completely different subject that we can't get into.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Lola says cancer cells are a process of your own bodies. Okay.
Right. It's the immune system.
Yeah. AIDS, we introduce into our bodies. Cancer is curable, but more often with early detection. That's from Lola. There's lots of things going on here with whether or not, I'm not going to say whether or not the government creates diseases and stuff like that, because we know that people do create things and they deliberately infect people and all these kinds of things happen. But you know, I mean, we can get lost in a quagmire here of what we're having this specific conversation about if we get real deep into it. So I'm gonna just try, Rod. We'll listen. If you remember that, we can have that. We'll do one of the episode numbers. We'll do one of the episode numbers where we get deep into that. So number 3, because Richard says number 3 is going to be guns.
Guns.
No, number 3 is chronic lower respiratory disease. So COPD, asthma, as Lola says, also introduced by aliens in back in when was that? Was that 600 BC? The aliens came and.
It's environmental.
Okay, Lola says it's environmental. Oh, guess what? Some things in the environment trying to kill our asses. No. Anyway, so that's COPD. That's number 3. Okay, I'm cracking my own
This
self.
is the Happy Friday show, in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah, exactly. Number 4. That the number 4 thing, accidents.
I mean, also, that like accidental discharge? What are we talking about?
No, accidents, also referred to as unintentional injuries. So, I mean, that can probably go. There's probably a whole bunch of things that pop into that. And I'm sure somewhere in there is in accidental injuries, there's some gunshot things. But we're talking, that's probably a big part of that's car accidents, right?
Falling off a ladder.
Yeah, we can go on and on with that kind of thing. Accidental
roller coaster injuries. Coming off the rails.
Yeah, your wife accidentally chops off your Johnson, and then doesn't call the paramedics for you. Yeah, that kind of stuff, that could happen. So that's number 4. Number 5, stroke. So, and this says cerebrovascular disease. So strokes. So there you go. That's number 5, strokes. Happens to a lot of people. So we can go through that. Number 6, Alzheimer's. Oh yeah, Alzheimer's. That's number 6 on this list. I'm gonna just keep going down so we don't get too miserable. Number 7, diabetes, which is also probably what's diabetes? Diabetes is both, right? Yeah. So Lola says diabetes is both. Number 8, influenza and pneumonia. Okay, in this day and age, influenza kills 55,000 people still. Well, there you go.
It's just common.
Yeah, I don't think guns, whether they're accidental, deliberate, or intentional or whatever, is killing this many people in America every year. So, and I haven't been calling off the number, but so number 9, kidney disease, 48,000 people. So that's number 9. Number 10, suicide. That's number 10, 42,000 people.
We've seen a lot of that this week.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of those. So these are all the things. These are the top 10 things in America that are resulting in people dying.
What about police?
No, it's not. It's not in the top 10.
Oh damn! Wow, I can't believe that.
It's not in the top 10, dude. These are the things that are up there, and I don't know, man. I think that what we have here, the AMA, they're just trying to get more money out of this situation. They're trying to use something that's hitting the news, and they're like, oh, let's see if we can get some more money. Let's see if we jump in on the side of like all these liberal, progressive politicians. Maybe they'll send some more money in our direction. I mean, if you think about it, right now, the things that the medical, I'm not coming down on Lola, she's in medicine. I'm not coming down on medicine itself, but what the fuck do these people know? They just think they know some shit.
I would say follow the money, because you don't know if any town or every town, whatever it's called, or George Soros just forked over a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a little conspiratorial here. Name a country in the world that has gun rights like we do.
There isn't. There's not one left.
So once you get the guns out of the United States, what can happen?
Anything. Like complete, as far as I'm concerned, complete anarchy is going to be eventually what's going to happen.
So
but you
you
will
can
have
have one
you will
world
have
order.
total government. Yeah, you're going to have total government control.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the thing, and I think the doctors, they definitely want this. That's what we're facing. And I think, look, let's think about medicine. I mean, how long ago was it in medicine that these people were saying it's okay to take spikes and put spikes in people's brains and do lobotomies and stuff like that? How long ago was that normal treatment for people?
Or shock treatment.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I don't really think that these guys, I'm not trying to say that they don't do things with people in society. They do. But I think they need to just like stand down on this one and stay the hell out of it. So.
Well, yeah. And here's the thing that I don't like is you got to play the numbers. And if you look at things, if you take gang violence out of the equation as far as gun deaths go, swimming pools are more deadly to kids under 18 than guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But nobody's calling for swimming pool control or tighter regulations or training or that everybody becomes a lifeguard.
Right.
It's just like the same thing with the AR-15. Statistically, on a yearly basis, less than 400 deaths a year are attributed to long guns. And long guns can be shotguns, rifles, anything. And some percentage of them are AR-15s.
Right.
So we're talking about more people die from getting hit on the head by coconuts than all long guns.
Yeah, more people die from knowing Hillary Clinton.
That's the Arkansas suicide.
Yeah. Classified information has some good stuff on this. Classified information says not hitting the like button is a leading cause of death. So please make sure you hit the like button. If you want to live really long, share this video. There you go. That's what you need to do right there.
Now, Obama had a study done. Like everybody, the left always says that, oh, it's illegal in the United States to do a study on guns. Now, Obama had a study done on guns. And what they found is up to 5,000 times a day, a gun stops a crime or saves a life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If these people get what they want, we're not capable of putting this genie back into the bottle, right? We're not capable of doing it. We can't wave a magic wand and make guns disappear. We've got lots.
You can. They did that in Europe.
No, they didn't disappear.
France, gun-free country, gun-free continent, and nobody's used a gun in terrorism in France at all, ever.
No. So exactly, we cannot make them disappear. So what is that? What exactly is it we're going to do here if these guys get their way? People who follow the law are going to give up their guns, and then you will have people who do not follow the law, do not give a crap about the law, or who are looking to attack us, or to victimize people. It's going to be free reign.
Right. And actually in Australia, when they took all the guns, home invasions increased.
Yeah. I mean, look at what we talk about that's happening in England all the time. Now, if someone breaks into your house in England and you kill them, it's your fault. You need to go to jail now because you did that.
Well, there's just as many acid attacks in Palm Beach, Florida, as there are in London, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think so.
No, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. And even where was this? There was an article that I was going to read that came out of Florida. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so check this out. So this is on the Truth About Guns. And here, let me see. I'm going to share it with you guys real quick.
Cool.
Here in the chat so you guys can see this article. And then let me see. I'll share it with everyone here so you guys can see this. Okay, so I'm going to read this article to you guys. Burglary victim clueless. Neighbors say he should have shot him in the foot. So here's what happened.
How hard that is.
Yeah. So following a string of burglaries in the neighborhood, the residents of the 2800 block of La Canada Street in Las Vegas were on high alert. That's why when two suspicious characters were seen lurking around, the police were quickly called. The situation escalated, however, when the two men in question began prying their way into a man's home. The homeowner grabbed his gun. This is Vegas. It's legal to have a gun to defend yourself and all that. He grabbed his gun and fired, killing one of the burglars while the second man fled and hasn't been found. Police are sending the case to the DA's office, but they're not expecting any charges to be filed against the homeowner. The victim's neighbors, on the other hand, are critical. Here's what one of the neighbors, Elizabeth Cannon, said when interviewed. Shooting him in the foot would have been a better idea. He has the right to defend his property, but not in the way of murdering someone.
Wow.
Another
How do you know that
also,
person that was breaking in wasn't trying to murder him?
Of course he was. Why are you trying to break? Why are you trying to come into my house?
Yeah.
Another neighbor, Oscar Rodriguez, echoed that sentiment. If he felt he was in danger, I guess he has the right to shoot. Rodriguez said, but I would shoot him in the leg to keep him alive and then call police.
Okay, what happens if you hit that carotid artery and they
Femoral
bleed out? Oh, femoral. I'm sorry, femoral artery. I mean,
yeah,
that's where that's in the leg.
Yeah, please don't take this the wrong way. I have tremendous amount of respect for my dad, but my dad, I guess, gets caught up in the hype of the news. He's like, well, Zimmerman used the kill shot on him. I'm like, somebody show me that.
Mm-hmm.
Kill shot. Now, look, all right, let's, Rod Mills.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know me. We're in a dark alley. I'm coming at you, and I said, I'm going to cut you into little pieces. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go ahead and draw my weapon.
Yeah.
And
when
if I keep coming at you,
I'm going center mass, baby.
Center mass.
Yeah.
Look, Hank, I drove 15 hours to get to your house. I had 4 hours sleep on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried I was going to be able to shoot at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if you wake up in the middle of the night, you're in a dark alley, whatever, you're out with your friends, you had a drink or two. I don't know. I'm not recommending having a gun while you go and drinking, but somebody's coming at you and you're in fear for your life. Center mass. I'm not going to wing Rod, you know, if I think he's coming at me, because who knows? He may pull a gun and shoot me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have that same thing come up with several of my students that I've taught. And in my range, there's like a 15-yard marker on the center block wall where we shoot at. And I asked, and what I do is, and anybody that says, hey, I'm going to shoot him in the arm or the leg, I say, okay, you know what? Cool. We'll understand that. Let's go back maybe 15 yards. And I say, look how small that is. Now, keep in mind, if that's someone's arm or leg, that arm and leg is not just standing still, it's moving, either coming towards you to the side, or, you know, it's moving. It's not static. It's not staying there. So imagine trying to hit that. And now these same students, all right, so I've got a IPSC target. This is what I practice on, you know, at my range here, IPSC. And if they have a trouble hitting this center mass, how in the hell are you going to hit somebody's leg that's only a few inches wide and moving and from a distance and possibly at night?
There's a lot of misconceptions on that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Don't listen to these people's advice. The first thing out of their mouths should have been this simple advice. If you don't want to get shot and you don't want to die, don't break into people's houses. How about that?
And here's the whole thing. And if one of the reasons I didn't get a gun until I got married, and once I had to protect myself because I provide for my family and the ability to protect my family, that's when I'm like, you know what? Having a gun makes sense. All of that being said, the best gunfight is the gunfight you avoid. Mm-hmm. If you can get out of that situation any way possible, you know, that's the first defense. Get the frick out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, if you're kicking in my door in the middle of the night in Palm Beach, there's going to be a crime scene cleanup crew coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. My friends that are police officers, you know, they probably tell me, Ron, hell, if we knew that we got to come to your house because someone broke in, hell, we're taking our time because they already know that, you know, trust me. I mean, even in my house, I practice, you know, with my blue gun, my training gun, and I practice different scenarios. And I'm gonna be honest with folks. I mean, if you're in your dead sleep, let's just say you're snoring, calling hogs, and you just so happened, my biggest fear is me not waking up, and somebody coming in my house, because understand this, if you're dead tired from working 10, 12 hours a day, it's probably, and that person, unless they're just totally busting down your door, you might not even wake up until, that person may be standing over you. But just in case if they're not, I practice in my room, in my house, tactics. If that happens, there's one that I run where, I may get behind my bed, and kneel down and wait for them to come to the room. I got another tactic where I will come and I will, shield myself behind the wall. And, in my hallway is like a kill zone. I don't care where you can shoot up or down, side to side. That bullet is going to hit you somewhere in my hallway, So, I do that and I practice that. And I think everybody else should do that. If you haven't done that, you need to really think about doing that.
Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
Because I haven't. And then the other thing you got to think about is, what's behind the target is always the question. Like if you miss, if the guy, dodges left and you just put a bullet through your kid's bedroom door or something, that's bad.
Well, I live alone. So, anybody that's not in my house, that's not in my bed with me, they're going to get shot.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So listen, 13C Gun Reviews is in the chat. Shout out to him. I think he's going to go live on Instagram at 9. We're probably going to run a little late. We're going to still be doing a show at 9, but he says that door was locked for your protection.
Absolutely. The criminal's protection.
Exactly. Like, why are you trying to get into people's house? Why do you want to get into someone's house? Why are you trying to come into a person's house uninvited? That's the thing. And I don't want to make you guys more miserable, but I'll read you this article from the New York Post. A comedian raped and murdered on way home from a gig. This is in Australia, I believe. An up-and-coming young comedian was raped and murdered while she walked home from a stand-up gig in Australia, sparking a nationwide outcry over violence against women, according to reports Friday. I'm almost home safe, HBU. That's the message she sent. Unique Dixon, 22, wrote in a Facebook message just moments before the attack. The comic had just done a set at a Highlander bar in Melbourne and was blocked from her apartment when the attacker struck around midnight Tuesday. According to local paper, her body was found in a football field roughly 3 hours later. James Todd, 19, later turned himself in and was charged with rape and murder.
Whoa.
There's you need to be able to defend yourself. And this is a very young person who needed to be able to defend themselves, which goes against everything people are trying to say. And 2, when you're defending yourself, you don't shoot to maim or scare someone. Don't ever do that. If someone put you in a situation where you think you're in this much imminent danger, they risk their lives. Okay, that's what's going on. They're challenging your life. They're risking their life. Period. End the story. Let's be more polite to each other in the future.
I'll be polite.
An armed society is a polite society.
I completely agree. Can you think about how many fights you've had at a gun show? All the people, all the fist fights breaking out, and
never. Or even NRA, or where's that you go to a SHOT Show? I've never seen any mass shootings at NRA or SHOT Show or a gun show.
Nope.
And it's amazing that all of these hundreds of thousands of guns and not one death. So tell me, what does that say?
And we don't all get along with each other.
It's not like we respect
we're polite. Each other. Yeah, you better.
Because I know that if I act a fool, I'm probably going to have some holes in me. Because but a society with guns is a polite society. Understand this. Let's go back to the Wild Wild West. Hey, everybody had a gun back then. Now people solve their differences. More so in what we would classify inhumane now with gun fights. But I will say this though, that if you got everybody walking around with a gun, you're less likely to go out there and talk crap to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see.
But you know what though? I'm gonna say, let me interrupt real quick. Hank, I wish we would have more officers in blue that would come out and physically say what they say in private, that it is not our responsibility to protect you before you get there. You have to protect yourself. You know, I just wish more and more officers would come out and say that, so that way people can then understand that, you know, because when I tell people that, they're like, wow, really? You're right. And I'm like, what police comes up to a scene a minute after a shooting, you know, or somebody busts your door down, and you know, if your alarm company rather, you know, calls the police. I used to work for an alarm company. You're talking about 5 minutes at the minimum. You know what can happen in 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, and that's before the call goes to the police, not before the police.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, I think that there are lots of police officers that are pro Second Amendment, that they understand this, that they recommend to their family members, people who they care about, to be armed to protect themselves. I think police officers are human beings. At the same time, you have lots of police officers who are actually anti-gun, who are, raging liberals and progressives and all that kind of stuff. Yep. And in a small case, you have some, just like the criminals, who enjoy being the only ones that are armed. So that's just the reality of what we're dealing with.
It was hard for me to fathom a police. I got several police officer friends that hate going shooting. I'm like, how can you hate going shooting? You know, but they're like, man, we don't. The only time we ever shoot our guns is to qualify. I'm like, wow. and just so everybody knows, not every police officer can shoot. Understand that. You know, you got a lot of police officers that barely qualify for the shooting exams. You know, they can't hit a broadside of a barn. You know, they like enforcing the law, but they can't shoot worth a damn. And so understand that too.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Richard?
I was living in Jupiter, Florida, in town for about 7 years, and then I bought the place in Jupiter Farms. And I saw a Jupiter town cop, like they have town police, and there's, Palm Beach County Sheriff also. And the cop says, "You gun guy?" I say, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you take care of the problem, then you call the sheriff." I'm like, okay. I'm like, not that I like that. But one other thing that kind of dovetails with that, as somebody with a gun, I think it's my responsibility to provide for my family's protection. I have a wife and a daughter. One of my buddies that teaches, he said, my goal is not to shoot the guy. My goal is to defend the family until the police get there to take care of the problem. I don't want to do it. And here's a couple of things. Say any one of us, in the next day, the next week, whatever, come into an encounter where unfortunately you got to take someone out. It's easily going to cost you $10,000 worth of legal fees. You very likely will get arrested. You'll get your guns taken away, or at least the gun you used at that time. And then you got to go through some court process because you see all of these people. Oh, you should have shot him in the foot. You should have shot him in the leg. How come you took the kill shot? And it's like, dude, I'm defending my wife and family.
Wow. Yeah. I totally agree with that. Let's pause here for a second so that we can switch into some, it's Friday. We've got to switch into some positive stuff, I guess, before we make people too miserable. So here's the thing. I want to remind you guys to get on hankstrange.tv, put in your email address. We do a weekly newsletter. I haven't put one out. I'll put one out when after we end the show here tonight. I'll get it out. We usually do it on Fridays. It's a little late because we're still here painting and stuff like that. We're giving things away on there. Yesterday, we gave away a ATI Outdoors Ruger 1022 stock that you had to go and comment on an ATI Outdoors posting, and of course, be in the email list. So please do that. That's a good way for us to let everyone know what we're doing. Also, I give out my number on that. You guys can email me through that thing. So go there, put in your email address, and, let's stay in touch that way. Don't forget to hit the thumbs ups. Okay. We need those, especially since we had to restart. I see some people calling for Gorn. Okay. Do you guys, who's got Gorn? Who's got some guns to share? I know Richard Hughes should have some famous guns here at this point.
They're still in my trunk.
Oh, they're in your trunk. Oh, well,
Hank, I don't have any guns, but I got a gun accessory here.
Okay, what is that?
This is a Foam Action Sports Such he actually prompted me to get this. And what I do is, I use this at the range, and I can use it like I can rest my barrel up on here or this way. And it's very light. It's made out of foam, and it doesn't cost. I think it's only like $9.99 from their website. So if you guys go to foamactionsports.com, this is a really good, quality accessory to have when you go into the range.
Okay. And how much did that cost?
$9.99.
Okay. All right. Very interesting.
Very reasonable.
Very cool. Okay. Did you have something there, Richard?
Oh, all right. I already put it away.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, here, I'll lock it on you.
LC9S.
LC9.
Yeah, and I have the laser on it just so it fits the holster, so the front sight doesn't go through and catch. But I'm super accurate with this. It's amazing how good it is compared to the regular LC9. And there's also an EC9 out, and Big Daddy Guns has it. You ought to do a review on that.
Oh, okay. I'll get on that. I'll try to work on that. Yeah, we've got lots of reviews that are in the pipeline right now, but we'll try to work on that one. It's a little crazy for me over here, so I haven't had a chance to like bring the guns over and all that kind of stuff. So pretty much what I have on me is my G43, my trusty G43. So there you go.
Hank, a lot of things that we don't talk enough about on your show is good Kydex holsters. This is my Bravo concealment here. You can never put a price on a good holster, okay? Especially a comfortable holster that fits good on your body. So guys, when you're getting a holster, a Kydex holster, don't skip out on the money. I mean, you just can't put a price on a good holster.
Well, the way I see it is, I don't know how many people carry in the chat, but you're probably going to go through 2 or 3 holsters before you find one you like. So just plan on that.
Yeah.
And then I carry differently. Like my standard carry is like I'll wear cargo pants and I'll pocket carry the LC9. But if I'm wearing dress pants or something, I have different options on how to carry.
Okay, very cool. Okay, I know you guys saw me rummaging around. This is what we gave away right here.
Huge.
So, Ruger 1022. We gave this away. We have another one of these that we're going to do a build up on. Of course, this is the Ruger 1022 kit. It's not the complete Ruger 1022. It's from ATI Outdoors. There you go, AR-22 conversion kit. And we're going to be sending one of these out. The guy who won it, you're probably going to get it because we're about to leave town. So I'm not sure that we're going to be able to ship this out now, but we will ship it to you as soon as we get back. And then when we get back, I'm also going to do a build on one. So we're going to build one up, and then we're going to give that away too. So there you go.
Hank, a lot of people don't
Lola
realize.
says no, but whatever. I already said it, Lola. Too late.
A lot of people don't realize with the ATI, when I held the ATI grip, ATI grips will improve your accuracy. Okay, understand that. I mean, they have one of the top of the notch line grips out there, especially the AR platform. And I held that, and I'm like, if you have a grip, you got to think. This is the little things. If you got a grip that your hand that doesn't mold to your hand, you're more than likely going to be less accurate with that. With that grip they have, man, that grip is second to none. And my next build, I will definitely have an ATI grip on it. Okay,
very cool. And Gorillas and Guns wants to know who won. So it was Tongue for Twisting on Instagram. He got in touch with me. I emailed him and all that. I'm going to give away a bunch of stuff. So, just bear with me. We're getting a bunch of things organized here. I see Walter, Safety Harbor Firearms, is in the chat. Shout out to Walter. I don't know what he's up to, but Walter, if you can come on if you want to and show us some Gorn or whatever, take it easy. We're going to be doing some giveaways with Walter as well. I also need to remind you guys that I am not going to be doing the show next week. So there you go. We're going on vacation. Last not this week, but the previous week when we were off, we were doing things, working around here. But Lola planned for us to go on a vacation a while back. We're going off with the boys. They're growing up, so she wants to make sure that we go off. We're going to be in Arizona. So for anyone who's in Arizona, if you see some big-headed people walking around and one of them has a mohawk, it might be me. There you go.
Where are you going to
Tampa? Sedona?
Where are we going in Arizona, Lola?
Just Arizona.
Okay, Lola doesn't want to say. Just tell me. I won't tell anyone.
Hey, please tell me you're not driving there.
We're flying. We're flying.
Oh, okay.
Where are we going in Arizona? Where are we going?
The four that were getting in the Audi.
Huh?
Peoria.
Peoria. Lola says we're going to Peoria. There you go.
Well, I'll send you an email.
Oh, okay. What are you sending Lola an email about?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
No, there's some places I know that are real nice.
Oh, okay. Richard's going to suggest places, Lola. I say block that email because I'm not going anywhere. I'm getting off the plane, going to the hotel room, and then I'm ordering room service the whole damn time.
There are just some fantastic watering holes, just great places to hike. I highly recommend the Pink Jeep Tour in Sedona. It's fantastic and very reasonable.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to be that far from what's the name of the Ben Avery. I'm not going to be that far from Ben Avery shooting range. Where was that?
Yeah, that's where you had the million guns shoot. Or?
Thousand.
Oh, 1,000 gun shoot.
Yeah. The Million Man shoe is going to be funny. I don't know where that's going to be.
That's a lot of guns.
Yeah. That's going to be a huge range. And Ben Avery is like the biggest range, I think, in the world. I don't know. I don't think it could handle 1 million people shooting all at one time.
That's a lot of range officers. Yeah,
there you go. So, yeah, I just want to remind you guys, we are going to do that. I'm probably going to say that at the end of the show. We'll let it run a little bit long because I think, we restarted, and I'm not sure what our runtime is right now, but we'll let it go a little bit here. I also want to remind you guys that we strip out the audio from this and it goes on iTunes. We put it in a bunch of other places. I'm working on getting it disseminated, the distribution, to get it up to more places. But you can listen to this if you're driving and doing stuff. If you miss me while I'm gone, you can hear our voice. Go to iTunes and search for the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Of course, you can look at the videos that we have on Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded, as well as the Heck Strange on YouTube channel. You can look at those over and over again and share them for us and help us out. I'm gonna get some stuff up. Tank says that he sent me a pic of his new gun. I'm guessing. Let me see. I don't know if I've gotten that yet. Oh, okay. Here we go. Tank sent me a picture of his new gun. So, whoa.
What's he got?
It looks like that's an X95, I believe. There you go. Check that out. Boom. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you could. Let me see. I don't know how well you guys can see it because there's a lot of light up there. But there you go. Can you see that?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, X95 right there. Looks like a Hank Strange hat as well.
Little pup
up in there. So very cool. Shout out to him. Congratulations on that. Very nice. If you guys have my number, you can send me your pictures and stuff like that as well. While I'm on vacation, you can send me messages, right, Lola? That's fine, right? You don't mind.
Or, somebody has to feed the goats, so we're going to have a lottery for who feed the goats, right?
Oh, no, the goats feed themselves. It's called grazing.
What about the dog?
We'll have someone that's gonna be visiting. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
The hacienda is
well taken care of.
Yeah, the hacienda is secured.
Locked down.
Yeah, like I said, if you want to know what my number is, I do give it out. It's on social media right now. I think you can find it on Instagram. You can find it on Facebook and some other places. Yeah. Is it on Twitter? Yep, there you go. It's up on Twitter, as well as you can just go to hankstrange.tv. And every Friday when we send out that newsletter, I also republish my number, and you guys can text me. You can call me. Sometimes I answer, but most of the times, text me and I'll text you back and all that kind of good stuff. That's how we do that. So that's how Richard connected with us, right, Richard?
Yep. Yeah, I was buzzing through the neighborhood on that 19-hour drive.
Yeah, and Leatherface is in the chat. He says he's not far from Ben Avery's. There you go. Very cool. Larry Fulton says there's actually a lot of cool stuff to see in Arizona. I agree with you. I've been in Arizona several times that I've been working. Lola, have you ever been in Arizona? No, Lola's never been. That's why she's going. The boys, of course, have never been. And I've been flying since I was like 5 years old, but my sons have never gotten on a plane ever.
Whoa.
So, and they are 18 and 19. So it's about time their butts go on a plane.
Are they geeked?
I don't know. I don't think they care.
Oh.
It's not a big deal to them. Classified information says Hank's goats are protected by the Goat Rescue Squad. So there you go. Archangel says Hacienda's protected by the Shadow Squad. All right, so let's see. Opt out of gun control says, "Can I eat the goat?"
Oh.
Just don't, as long as the kids aren't around to see that, because they're not fans of that. I've eaten lots of goats in my life. So, but these goats apparently are safe from being eaten. As long as they're on the property there. So, all right. So let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Like, what crazy stuff is going on in the news? Okay.
So, Islamist extremist ricin plot foiled by German police. I'm going to drop that in the chat.
Interesting. Yeah.
So if they don't use guns, and they don't use bombs, and they don't use trucks, and they don't use knives, what were they going to go to next?
What were they going to go to? I don't know. Surprise me.
And I don't know if you guys know what ricin is, but that is like, I believe it was developed by the Russians. They use it to kill off spies. Apparently, there's no cure for it, and just the smidgen of a speck of dust of it will kill you.
Wow.
And if for those of you that are fans of, oh gosh, what was the TV series or Netflix series where they make the meth?
Where they made the meth. I forgot the name of that thing. What's that?
Breaking Bad.
Huh? Breaking Bad. There you go. I think Pebbles wants to go up on your shoulder.
You seen him like
Pebbles, he's complaining. We can hear him squawking.
He just wants to hang out of my finger.
Yeah. There you go. Let's lock it on there so we can show everyone Pebbles. Pebbles will not be ignored, damn it.
You're talking, huh?
Pebbles like, are you serious? Yeah.
He's adding commentary.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, why are you leaving me out of this, dude? Yeah, so wow, this guy was trying to make ricin. So this is in Cologne, right?
So in Germany, and apparently, I don't want to give away recipes, ricin is very easy to make. And just crazy toxic. So if you, and you know what? I'm going to stop talking here because I was going to give away a whole bunch of ideas and methodologies.
Don't do that.
And the problem is, if you're the least bit creative and you think about how things work, you can inflict incredible damage.
Yeah, there's no way to stop people from doing these things other than in the moment and being vigilant and constantly looking out for people that do horrible things, right?
So again, not guns, not bombs, not knives, not, fill in the blank. They want to do knife control in England because there are no guns, and that's the weapon of choice. The problem is evil in the hearts of men, and that really is it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm telling you that if people think that that's not going to happen in England, that they make knives illegal, I think it can happen. It's highly likely to happen there, as a matter of fact. And then people will just, people will still keep using knives because you can make knives all you want to. They're not capable of stopping the knives.
They'll run people over. They're already doing it.
Yeah. Or they'll go to, they can go to, cricket bats. You think you can't do damage with cricket bats?
Right.
The
stat is, if you compare homicides in the United States versus England, the people get either stabbed or beaten to death. And I'm like, I'd rather take a bullet. I'd rather take a bullet and bleed out than being beaten or strangled or stabbed to death.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I hope that you're looking for some news, Rod Mills. Let's try to find some. It's Friday. Let's try to find some Friday freaky news. Let's see what we can find. Freaky news for Friday. I don't know if this really fits into the category, But here's a headline, something that we talked about, I think, a couple of months ago. If anyone who watches on a regular basis, we were talking about Jules Santana that was arrested in New Jersey on gun charges and all that at I think it was at Newark Airport, and then he ran away. He was going, huh?
Who's Jules Santana?
He's a rapper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was going through the airport, and he got like, they went through his bag, they found a gun, he ran away or whatever. So here's the headline. It says judge orders Jules Santana's mom to accompany rapper on tour.
His mom?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He looks like he's 40. Newark, New Jersey. Rapper Jules Santana can go on tour while he's facing weapons charges, provided he's monitored by an electronic ankle bracelet and mom. A federal judge on Friday modified the bail conditions for Santana, whose real name is LaRon James, to allow him to play the first 5 shows of his upcoming 15-city nationwide tour. Among the conditions, that Santana's mother accompanies him on the trip, that he drives instead of flies, and that they don't travel with other members of the tour. What? In court Friday, the Santana told the judge that his mother, who wasn't in attendance, had consented to join him on the tour. What?
Wait, hold on.
You lose your street cred as a rapper when your mom's has to go on the tour with you.
Wait.
I would just say, put me in prison.
He's gonna go on tour, but he can't be on tour with the other folks on the tour.
No, and he has to have his mom's. Yeah,
so
that's happening.
Okay, so what he flies ahead of everybody, and they. What about the people on the tour? Got to see him eventually because they got to perform with him.
Yeah, right? I don't know. This whole thing is silly, and it's kind of
that doesn't make sense.
I mean, I first of all, I don't. We should all be able to travel around America, including Jules Santana, as long as we all should be able to travel and be armed and stuff like that. I personally believe that. So this is one of the things, right, with that, but this is still like special treatment for him, I think, to allow him to go on the tour with his moms. But I'm not happy that they're coming down on him with gun charges. Or I'm I don't know whether this was like a stolen gun or whatever. I don't think it was. Otherwise, he'd be facing more stuff. I know you can own guns in New Jersey. It's not easy to get a concealed weapons permit there, or in a lot of places like New York or New Jersey, but. Oh wow! So that's crazy. So
what they are allowing him to go tour because that is his job. So they're allowing him to be able to make money, income. So that's why they're doing that, and that's why. But they got the restrictions on there as well. So
he paid the hefty fine they're going to levy on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure though, Rod, if you were traveling and you illegally were trying to take a gun onto a plane or something like that,
I still be in jail.
They would not give a crap that you have to go to a job and work and make some money. But
yeah,
right, it is what it is. This is one of the things that needs to get straightened out. I am not against him having a firearm or whatever, but I mean, there are ways that we all do it, right? We have to declare stuff. If you want to travel with a gun, you got to declare it. And there you go. That's how you got to do it. So
people, please, one thing I do before I travel at all, one thing I never bring my luggage into my man cave where my guns are, because you never know, there could be that one round that might fall in, your suitcase and you not even know it. And, I'm not saying the chances of that happen is very minuscule, but there is a chance. So I have a thing where I never bring my luggage into the room where my guns and ammo are. I keep them totally separate.
Okay.
Well, my problem is I'll be in West Palm Beach at the airport in the long-term parking lot, and I'll be standing there waiting for the bus, and I reach into my pocket. I'm like, oh crap! So I got a safe in my truck, and I run back to the truck quick and lock it up in the safe.
Yeah.
Now, should we go over the rules of what you're supposed to do if you're flying with a gun? Should we go over that?
Yeah, I can let them know. I can
do a lot of that.
Yeah, someone pull that up from somewhere and we can talk about that.
I can tell you.
I can tell you.
Okay, go ahead. Hit us with it. Go ahead.
I mean, basically what you have to do is it has to be in a locked case. You cannot put your ammo in the same case that the gun is in. When you travel with that gun, they will treat that as a checked bag, meaning that unless you look with Southwest, where they have 2 free checked bags, you will have to pay $25 or $30 for that particular gun. You have to declare that at the counter. You have to let them know that it is empty. Sometimes they may have you open it up. It has to be in a locked container, whether it be a combination lock, whether it be a deadbolt lock, either or. If you are taking ammunition, that has to be in a separate locked container, and it has to be unopened. So, I mean, but keep in mind, different airlines have different regulations. So you can always consult that airline's policy online before you actually go to the airport. But understand, it can get expensive with the baggage fees because they will charge you for one bag for that particular weapon that you have.
Now, Rod, I've got a different experience. First off, Southwest, I believe, allows you to carry 11 pounds of ammo. And I've carried it like...
No, I'm saying you can carry ammo, but it has to be separate from the...
I've carried it. I've got like Plano gun cases, and I've had AR-15s or Mini-14s, whatever, and the ammo's in the box with the gun. Now the gun cannot be loaded, or you can actually have loaded magazines, but it cannot be in the firearm. Now the restrictions they have on the ammo, so different airlines have different weight restrictions. But you can have, I believe, Southwest 11 pounds of ammo, and it has to be in the original box or a magazine.
Exactly, yeah, the original box.
Now, the funny thing is, in Florida, like I fly out of West Palm Beach pretty often. When you show them, it doesn't matter who's behind the counter. Typically, it's an older lady, and she has no problem. She's not scared of it, and pretty much the look you get is like you're only carrying one. Yeah. So I think that's kind of funny. Meanwhile, in New York, if I'm going back, this is before they went all Safe Act on us. But I carried my Mini-14 back and forth with me just because I was flying Southwest and I carried bags free. What the heck? And they write down the serial number of the firearm. They keep a copy of that. They put a card in it. They want to inspect it. They're all all. And I'll tell you what, I've never legally carried my Mini-14 to and from New York. I never realized 30-round mags were illegal when I was doing it, but the cops didn't know either. The Suffolk County Police Department didn't know. Now, if you're carrying a pistol, you can get, and I have this in my truck, a pistol safe. It's the size of an encyclopedia, pretty much, and you have it cabled to a hard point so nobody can walk away with it. You can take a pistol with you and put it in your bag, but the TSA wants to see the bag. So the bag doesn't have to be locked, but your pistol has to be unloaded. It can actually have a loaded magazine in there with it, and you can check that to any point. Now, there's a problem with that. Somebody had an issue. Their flight ended up landing in like Newark, New Jersey. The flight wasn't intentionally going to go to Newark, and then the bags are on the carousel, and he's like going to pick up his bag, and he got nabbed. So you need to be. There's a law called the right of safe passage. So say you're going from New Hampshire to Florida because you moved and you're carrying all of your pistols and your AR-15s, which were legal in New Hampshire and legal in Florida. And don't take anything I'm saying without checking with an attorney, all right? Because if you end up in jail, that's your own problem.
Yeah, we are not attorneys.
Technically, we're supposed to be able to drive down I-95 through whatever bad lawed gun place that exists and have the right of safe passage through there.
Yeah. And one of the problems you will face if for whatever reason this becomes an issue is that the police officer or whoever else pulls you over probably will not know what the laws are. 13C gun reviews, which I'm reminding you guys, I think if he's not live yet, he probably will be going live. He says, I've been getting asked this a lot. I need to do a video on this and show the regs while I'm talking about it. And Vanessa Kitty mentioned that what you were talking about, Richard, and she says, and if you fly through New York City and get delayed, do not try to collect your luggage at the airport. To say, what is it to say drove out of the state because you will be arrested? So yeah, don't try to collect your luggage. So, okay. And you know what we should do? I'm going to pull up while we're talking about this. And while you guys are looking for some freaky news.
I got freaky news.
Here's the TSA.gov, what they say about this. Transporting firearms and ammunition. You may transport unloaded firearms in a locked hard case or a hard-sided container as checked baggage only. Declare the firearm and or ammunition to the airline when checking your bag. At the ticket counter, the container must completely secure the firearm from being accessed. Locked cases that can be easily opened are not permitted. Be aware that the container the firearm was in when purchased may not adequately secure the firearm when it's transported in checked baggage. Contact the TSA contact center with questions you have regarding TSA firearm regulations. It goes on there. There's a bunch of rules and laws there. Here, you know what? Actually, let me put this I'm going to put it in our chat in case you guys want to go through it, and then I'll put it in the main chat because I think that chat lives on nowadays with YouTube. So I'll put it in the chat as well at this point so folks can take a look at that. But definitely, if you're going to do this, check into the laws, make sure you're doing it right. There's a ton of videos out there of what to do when you're doing this kind of stuff.
So Armaments and Axes asks, what are gun laws on private planes? And pretty much it's the same thing as if you're driving a car. If you're going through that state and you're allowed to conceal carry, there's no difference in the airplane. Now, you might have a problem if you're concealed carrying and for some reason your flight doesn't make its destination, like you land on a road or something like that. You could have some trouble.
Yeah.
But nobody's ever done that.
Yeah. So, and there's a couple of rules like rifle scopes are permitted in carry-on and checked baggage. So there you go. Replica firearms, including firearm replicas that are toys, may be transported in checked baggage only. Firearm parts, including magazines, clips, bolts, this is their wording, magazines, clips, bolts, and firing pins are prohibited in carry-on baggage, but may be transported in checked baggage. Firearms must be unloaded and locked in a hard-sided container and transported as checked baggage only, as defined by 49 CFR 1540.5. A loaded firearm has a live round ammunition or any component thereof in the chamber or cylinder or in a magazine inserted in the firearm. Only the passenger should retain the key or combination to the lock unless TSA personnel request the key to open the firearm container to ensure compliance with TSA regulations. So declare each firearm each time you present it for transport as checked baggage. Ask your airline about limitations or fees that apply. If you're traveling internationally with a firearm and checked baggage, please check the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website for more information and requirements prior to travel. So like, let's say you're going overseas to hunt and stuff like that. When traveling, comply with the laws concerning possession of firearms as they vary by local, state, and international governments. Right? So
I'd
that's that.
be totally worried going to another country. Now, Canada, maybe not. Mexico, heck yeah.
Okay, what are you saying? You saying you're not worried if you go to Canada, or?
Right, like if I was going, elk hunting in Canada, I wouldn't be so worried about that. But who was the guy? There was a Marine that went, took a wrong turn, ended up in Mexico. He said, yeah, I got a couple of guns in the back of my truck. We spent half a year in jail. Yeah.
And the weird thing is you can come from Mexico into America and buy guns and stuff like that. So it's a weird situation. All right. So you've got some weird news. What about you, Rod?
No weird news, man.
Okay.
I know we're getting to the end of the cast, but I want to throw a shout out to all the fathers out there. Man, this is our day, man. So go out there and this is our weekend, or Sunday's your day. So go out there and do something fun, man. Go shoot, man. Go to the range.
Okay. Awesome. Every day should be Father's Day, but whatevs.
Yeah.
Okay, Richard, go ahead.
Okay, I just was quickly looking for some freaky news, and I can't picture anything quite better than this. Hart County grandmother kills rabid bobcat with bare hands. How's that for freaky?
Man, that's freaky.
What did she like? Choke him to death? She snapped his neck. What the hell? Bobcat?
Yeah, I don't know where Hart County is.
No.
Yes,
Sounds like in the country.
Yep. Yeah, Hart County grandmother in her yard, spurring a furious battle that ended with the cat's strangulation to death.
She strangled him to death. She's hardcore.
Oh yeah, yeah. They got pictures of her hands. All right, so she's 46 years old. So I don't know how grandmotherly that makes you, but
you could be. I'm 46. I'm not a grandfather, but it could happen.
right. So unprovoked attack occurred at 6 p.m. She was working on her truck. All right, so she's badass.
Yeah.
That afternoon, posted a bumper sticker that read, "Women who have rarely women who behave rarely make history."
Yeah, she's
that's
a badass.
funny.
Yeah, what were you? Go ahead. I think Rod wants to ask a question here or interject.
Well, Tampa man arrested for shooting woman doing freaky sex.
All right, you got me beat.
Is this a new one? Did this happen recently?
I'm actually going to put this in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
We're gonna have to look at this. Hold on.
That is weird. Hold on one moment. Let me.
Hank, I sent you one this morning. The woman that was carrying the 38 single stack pistol in her vajayjay got arraigned or something today, or sentenced.
Oh, she did. Yeah, there's lots of women apparently carrying weapons in their vajayjay. I don't know if I recommend it, but hey, if it works for you, if you want to holster stuff in your vajayjay,
I hope it's stainless steel.
Yeah. So a Tampa man was arrested and charged with manslaughter after he said he accidentally shot a woman in the head during what he described as freaky sex, according to Tampa police. Wow.
What the?
Shot in the head in a motel room. When they arrived, they found the man who called 911. I don't believe this. Tyrone Fields, 21 years old, told police he accidentally shot the woman. In several unsolicited statements before the arrest, he said it was an accident during freaky sex. Says he had only known the victim for a couple of days before their date at the hotel. He told the detectives the woman had asked him to put a gun to her head as part of what he described as a role play scenario during sexual activity. Before you get into any kind of stuff like this, you need to read, or take a safety course. Oh my gosh.
Check the chamber. If it's true, that's horrific.
Yeah, I'm not saying it can't be true, but oh my goodness gracious. I mean, the victim was identified as, I'm not going to say her name. She's 18 years old from Tampa.
Oh, no.
Wow. So that's pretty terrible. Seriously, dudes, come on.
So when we talked about dead hooker friends, or actually we didn't talk, Chuck Woolery did.
Yeah.
If you remember this line, you don't have the dead hooker friend problem.
Yeah.
I did see.
Wow.
I did see about a year ago where a guy got a girl's vagina infected because he was using gun lube on his penis or something.
Was it frog lube? Maybe it was frog lube.
Some kind of
crap. Yeah, let's find out what brand. Top tip: do not put gun oil on your Johnson. Got it.
And with that, I want to make a shout out to Big Dick Willie.
Yeah, exactly.
Big Dick Willie. Don't put gun lube on your Big Dick Willie.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's put on a condom, damn it.
There's a couple of good comments. Opt out of gun control says wrong frog, and then CB says froggy style.
Illegal use of gun lube. Yeah.
Now watch, somebody's gonna do that in this chat. Watch.
No, don't try this at home. Don't try this at home. Okay, so just really quick here, I'm gonna go to my. This is not super freaky, but did you guys hear about this? That the Dukes of Hazzard, John Schneider, he got arrested because he didn't pay alimony.
Oh man!
Did you hear about this?
Oh, wow.
So it says, thanks to jail overcrowding, actor John Schneider is free after just serving a few hours of his 3-day sentence for unpaid alimony. So there you go. The Associated Press reported that Schneider, 58, failed to pay his estranged wife, Elvira Ellie Castle, alimony, which he said he was unable to pay due to debt. The Dukes of Hazzard star was released ahead of schedule from the Los Angeles County Jail Tuesday due to overcrowding, according to AP. Before turning himself in Tuesday, Schneider spoke by phone to Fox News about his thoughts on his upcoming 3 days behind bars. I'm disheartened with the system, but my head's up, and I'm going to do what I have to do and make it through the next couple of days.
Is that Bo or Luke dude?
It's the blonde one.
Oh, Bo. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, if you want to not have to pay alimony, don't get married.
Well, here's the thing, and I feel bad for these guys, whether it's an old, sports figure or something like that. I hope these guys manage their money well, because when you're making the money, just don't go, blowing it all away.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, people should know to have prenups and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, why even, like, if you're in LA, don't even get married. I'll be honest with you. I don't recommend marriage to anyone.
Ooh, dude,
I'm just going to tell you.
Is Lola in the room?
No, she's not in the room, but she hears me say that all the time. Marriage is not a thing to go into lightly, man. I don't know. I've never been divorced or anything like that. I'm not saying it can't happen. It could totally happen, but people shouldn't go lightly into these things, And if you're going to get married in LA, this kind of stuff's going to happen to you. And obviously in LA, they don't give a crap, if you can't pay for it. And apparently, from reading through that article, he has a lot of debt, so he couldn't pay it. And the thing to do was they decided to put him in jail for that, which I don't know how that helps if you're in jail. Yeah, I don't know how that helps for you to pay your bills and stuff like that. Hopefully someone will hire him, in Hollywood and put him to work, or maybe he'll go into the porn business or something. I don't know. Yeah. LA is a tough town. If you're going to get divorced, definitely move out of LA. If you know that you're not going to be able to pay your alimony in LA, I suggest you run for the hills. Get out of there.
Pictures, he looks like a good-looking guy. Not like I like guys, but I mean, he looks decent guy. I mean, he probably could get roles in something.
Yeah.
Like Jello pudding commercials, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Or start a YouTube channel. There's no money in that either. So Leatherface wants to know if I could autograph his 17S or his M249 saw. If you get to Phoenix, I can meet you at Ben Avery's. I'm a fan. Would like to meet you. I'm not sure Lola is going to allow me to get away to do anything, but
nothing gun related, right?
Well, I don't know. She wants me to stick to the vacation thing. Oh. So I'm bringing my computer. I still have videos I have to edit and all that kind of good stuff, but So hey, Hamburger Helper says hazardous sex starring John Schneider.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I got a question for all the novice YouTubers that want to do video editing. What type of video editing software do you use when you edit your videos?
Right now I use Adobe Premiere.
Okay.
So that's like cloud-based software.
Is that free or does it cost?
No, it's not free. It's cloud-based, and it's I think you can have access to Adobe's suite, their entire suite of software for about $50 a month or so. So it's really not bad, and they upgrade it all the time. They have lots of training things on it. In the past, I've used Final Cut Pro, which is from Apple, but Apple doesn't develop that. Adobe does. That's why that sucks. But there's lots of different software that you can use out there. Adobe Premiere works on Apple, on Mac, and PC. So that's one of the reasons why I really switched over to it, because it's way more developed than Final Cut. But there's a bunch of other things. Blackmagic has their own stuff. There's lots of things out there.
Resolve is really nice, and they have a free version, and it's cross-platform. So if you're Linux, Mac, whatever, Windows, DaVinci Resolve, they have a free version.
DaVinci
nice.
Resolve is the Blackmagic thing?
Yep.
Yes. And do you have to buy something from Blackmagic to have access to that?
No, you can use DaVinci Resolve immediately. And the reason I came upon that, I'm pretty cross-platform. I typically use a Mac, and I use iMovie to edit for the most part. And if you look at my videos, you can tell I use iMovie. It's kind of low end. It works, but the reason I use the Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve is because I was doing some 360 videos, and you couldn't edit it with iMovie.
Yeah, you can edit those in Adobe Premiere. But you know what, you should use what works best for you or what you have access to. If you have an iPhone, it comes with iMovie, and yes. I use iMovie all the time on my phone. It comes with an iPad or whatever else. I use that. It's pretty simple to use. I suggest using something that's easy for you to have access to, and then work your way up. When I started my channel, I started off with an iPhone, I think iPhone 3, and that's where I made my first videos, and then I slowly built up and worked up to stuff. So, I mean, that's usually the best way to go to figure out whether or not you like it. So, and then let me see. Gorillas and Guns says he uses OpenShot. And Classified Information says MS Paint. So there you go. Boss Hog says, I got my nickname from watching Dukes of Hazzard so much. My family started calling me Boss Hog. Okay, very cool. So, did that answer your question, Rod?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Okay, cool. You know what? I know we've gone over. I don't want to keep everyone hanging on here. Obviously, we had some technical difficulties in the beginning of the show. That's why we're running a little bit late here. Plus, I want to make sure that I remind everyone that next week we're not going to be doing the show. I'm going to be on vacation. Lola has put down her foot, so to speak, whatever that means. I don't know.
Social media.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any. I have to do social media, so I'm gonna be working as much as I can, but I'm gonna be getting a lot of nasty looks, and I'm gonna get in trouble all the time with her. But I know I have to keep doing things, and I've got things to post, and I've got editing to do. So usually, what I do when we're on vacation and they're all sleeping, I'm up working on stuff.
Oh man.
Because when they're awake, all I get is the complaints. So I'm going to try to do what I could do, but I can't promise anyone anything. So we are going to be in Arizona. I know that someone was asking me if it can meet. I don't know whether or not I could do that, just because it's so crazy when we're on vacation. And I promised Lola I was going to give them the priorities out there. But I do go to Arizona a lot, so I'm sure that I will. The opportunity will come up that I'll go there again. So. All right, so Richard, tell us what you're going to get up to for the next week. While we're gone, what are you getting up to?
I don't know. If Tyvin has a chat, we might get on. But only thing I got planned in the next week is tomorrow I'm going to see my dad up by Olean, New York. So it's a 6-hour drive each way. So I'm going to be a little busy with that. And if you want to find me on social media, flyingrich.com is my website, and basically links to all of my social media.
Okay, very cool. Happy Father's Day to you, Richard. Obviously, Father's Day is this weekend. Happy Father's Day to you. Also to you, Rod Mills. Happy Father's Day to you. I know your daughter's back. Your daughter's back in. She's back.
Yeah, she's back from she went to China for 2 weeks. She did a seminar over there on gerontology. Needless to say, no matter how old your children get, when they're not hundreds, but thousands and thousands of miles away from you in a communist country, you tend to worry. But I will say that I wasn't as worried once she was on the ground over there. I knew she was having fun. She went to go see the Great Wall of China and the Forbidden Forest, and amongst other things. So this weekend I'll be celebrating Father's Day. I will celebrate it at the gun range. So I will get me some trigger time in, doing what I love the best. Tomorrow I'll do what most dads do. I'll be in the yard cutting my yard and my grass, because unfortunately it's raining like cats and dogs in Florida. This in the summertime, if you're from Florida, around maybe 3-4 o'clock, it rains every day in Florida. So, and my grass is growing like I have to cut it every week. So
get some goats, damn it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't live in a hacienda.
You can
But,
come borrow my goats. You just got to put them on leashes.
oh yeah, and Hank, I want to throw a shout out to you as being a father. And Richard, are you a father too?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Absolutely.
hey,
Did you not see? Did you not see Pebbles? He's a dad. He is a
My
dad.
oldest.
Yeah, he is a dad. Pebbles is the oldest. He does have other kids.
Unfortunately, Father's Day is probably the least popular of all holidays on the calendar, but it is the most popular to your children. So just understand that Father's Day is without fathers there will be nobody else. So and then I'm dreading. I can tell I'm getting old, and I am dreading the 4th of July because. For those idiots out there that shoot guns in the air that don't realize that bullets do come back down. So I really hate the 4th of July. Well, at nighttime, I hate it. So, I have to prepare myself for that. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing, man.
Yeah, if you want to shoot, go shoot in a safe manner. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes. And, well, I just wanted to let you know, hey, have a safe trip. We'll be, praying for safe travels during coming back. And we'll be looking forward to seeing your videos on YouTube, letting us know where you guys have been adventuring at. Please make sure that Lola allows you guys to, let us know where you guys are at, and so we can kind of enjoy your vacation with you. Yeah, vicariously.
Thank you. We'll do that. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for coming on. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Thanks for being here on the show with me. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And, you may not be a father, but you have a father. So happy Father's Day to everyone out there, mine included, and everyone that I know that are fathers. Happy Father's Day to you. One of the things I will tell you is that, I think fatherhood it's not absolutely 100% necessary, but it's an important part of manhood. And the thing that I learned when I became a dad and had my sons is that those kids, they love me unconditionally. Lola doesn't love me that much, and I know she does. I know she does love me. Before we get into all that, she does love me. She does care about me. But it's almost like I could do no wrong. So that's the beautiful thing about having children. Unless you're pretty terrible to them, they look at you and they appreciate that, they appreciate you in their lives because, especially when you've been there, you take care of them and all that kind of stuff. I don't really feel like I need days to celebrate things, but
just guns and ammo.
Yeah. Yeah. But, hey, I think that we should recognize, especially nowadays, like men are not appreciated enough. And, there's fathers out there that aren't like biological fathers, but they take really good care of the children, right? Yeah, Richard, he's one of those dudes. There's lots of good dudes out there. There's fathers that are surrogates in lots of ways that, they have nieces and nephews and things like that the parents don't take care of them and they jump in there. So shout out to all those people, man. Even if you're not like officially, but you're out there taking care of the children, a really important part of what we do as human beings. So, and there's people who are never fathers and they still, like I said, they take care of other people's kids out there and stuff like that. So shout out to those guys. And I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, we're going on vacation. I gotta say it again, we're going on vacation. We're going to be gone. I know that people are still going to be getting in touch with me. If you want to get in touch with me, go to hangstrange.tv, put in your email. We'll send out a thing. I'm going to send one out tonight. I'll send one out next week, Friday, and all that kind of stuff. Follow us on social media. We're Hank Strange pretty much on everything. You guys be safe until I see you again. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace. We're going.